Next is the paired t-test. So when do we use the paired t-test? So paired t-test is used when we want to test the average differences between paired samples. Example, uh, weight before and after the activity. So for instance, we want to test if there is a changes on your weight before and after the activity or exercise. Okay, so what are the data that we need to know? So we want to know your weight before the exercise and then your weight after the exercise. Okay, so that we make use of the paired t-test. If it is parametric test. If it is not, if it is non-parametric test, then we make use of the Wilcoxon sign rank test. Another example of paired t-test. So when do we use paired t-test? Example, we want to test the performance of the students on pre-test and post-test. Okay, so pre-test we have their scores. Okay, and then we have also post-test their scores. So both are scale variable. Okay, before and after. So we make use of the pre-test. Okay. Next is test of a relationship. Okay, one test in performing the relationship of a variable is we make use of the Pearson's correlation coefficient, or simply the Pearson R, co Pearson product moment correlation. Okay, so we have to take note that both dependent and independent variable must be scale variable. Okay, so example, we want to test the relationship between your height and weight. Okay, is there a relationship between your height and your weight? Okay, so since height is scale variable and your weight is also a scale variable, both are quantitative variable, then we make use of the Pearson's correlation coefficient. Okay. On the other hand, if the data are not scaled, they are qualitative data, then we make use of the chi-square test if both are qualitative data. And we have to take note that chi-square test is under non-parametric test. So when do we use this one? For example, we want to determine if whether which among these participants does not like horror movies, okay, between male and female. So sex, male and female, is a categorical data or qualitative data, and their likeliness whether they want horror movies or not is also a qualitative data. Horror movie, yes or no. So that yes or no is also a qualitative or categorical data. See, so that's chi-square test. Okay, now we move to statistical significance. So here, statisticians says here often choose a cut-off point under a p-value must fall for finding to be considered statistically significant. Okay, so here we only consider the p-value. Okay, in the SPSS under the significant column. Okay, we have to focus on the significant column. That is the p-value, okay, or probability value. If the probability value, it says here, is less than or equal to 0.05 or 5%, then the result is statistically significant. Meaning to say, there is a relationship, there is a difference between those variables. Okay, so again, the p-value is our indicator for statistically significance. If this is a greater than 0.05, then there is no significant difference or a relationship between those data. So what do you mean by 5% level of significance? So if if our cutoff point is 5%, meaning to say that the result of the study is 95% accurate. So no matter how many times you repeat the process or you gather the data, still you will get a 95% accurate of the result of the study. Okay, so that is what we mean by 5% level of significance. Okay, it says here two forms of inferential statistics. So there are only two. Is it a test of difference or a test of a relationship?